All right, this is my fifth time doing it. The slideshow keeps freezing, but we'll see what happens. So, anyway, I will be discussing Moonlight, color theory, and how that ties into queer theory. I'm going to have an introduction, color theory and queer theory, how they tie together. Then I'm going to look at a couple of critic analyses to see how their opinions differed from mine and how we kind of related. And then I'm going to have a conclusion. So, for my introduction, motifs, sometimes not easy to notice, are fundamentally critical towards the message of a film's greater themes in terms of a character's development, a character's inner thoughts, what they're thinking, what they're feeling, a character's identity, how they identify with their self and those struggles, and the setting in which a character lives and its wider views, which is also impacted a lot by the rest of these things, character's development, inner thoughts, and identity. Uh, Let us take a look at one of the most obvious examples from a movie we did not watch this year. Uh, So sorry. Now, in The Matrix, throughout the film, the main character lives through a simulation. The green colors represent when he's in a simulation, and when he's pulled out of a simulation, everything becomes clean, almost too clean, and devoid of noticeable color, signifying the drab reality of the future. Now, Moonlight does a lot of these things as well. Moonlight, written and directed by Barry Jenkins, is based off the unpublished short play In Moonlight, Black Boys Look Blue by Terrell Alvin McRaney. It tells the story of Chiron, a young black child living in Miami, Florida, with his drug-addicted mother and the revolving door of men brought into their house. Chiron faithfully meets Juan, who finds Chiron hiding in a hole far away from his mother, only because other kids have chased him there. We follow Chiron as he discovers his identity apart from Juan, Juan's girlfriend Teresa, his mother, and the society around him. Now, some colors that I personally found in the movie to be kind of very striking is white, symbolizing purity and a connection to your inner self. Blue, symbolizing comfort, safe people and places, and growing accustomed to your identity. Red symbolizing a fake self, aggression, and internalized hate. Pink symbolizing Chiron's mother and his family. Yellow symbolizing discomfort, self-loathing, and the struggle for identity. And black being the absence slash total of light and emotion. And we'll talk about that a little later. Now, for white, I have this scene really quick where Chiron is getting chased by his bullies. You can see him wearing white, and usually we see him wearing white as a child. Uh, and he also goes into this place that's a little bit white as a safe place. Um, so we talked about that. Chiron is also wearing white in the scene, but more importantly in the scene, we get the purest and brightest form of light to illuminate Chiron's face. It's the white moonlight when he's reflecting on the beach where him and Kevin have their first sexual encounter and where Juan taught him to swim. It kind of showcases how comfortable Chiron feels in this place. Juan and Teresa's home become one of the only homes cast in white, some where Chiron is allowed to be himself, and Teresa is often pictured in a white headband and wearing brighter clothing as well. And here you can see a lot of the white headbands and the white background of the home, just simplifying that even further. Now for blue, this is after Kevin and Chiron's first sexual encounter, and you can see how everything is kind of washed in blue. This shows how comfortable Chiron is feeling with himself right now and how comfortable he is with just the people around him. But you can see that this ends up not being a good thing because Kevin punches him. Kevin is also at the whims of the kind of society that they find themselves in, but Chiron doesn't really blame him for that and gets back up. So for Blue, Chiron finds his childhood home as little, washed with blue, as well as his mother's attire. We see a blue couch, blue blankets, blue walls, but we also see a little bit of a yellow background. We also see his mother wearing blue, but there's yellow dotted all throughout. People Chiron finds safe are often outfitted in blue, Teresa, Juan, and Kevin, as well as his mother earlier on. After having a safe discussion with Juan about him being his mother's drug dealer, a blue light flashes to show Chiron growing up and kind of understanding how he's allowed to be vulnerable. Talked about during the fight scene, and Kevin is consistently shrouded in blue light in Chiron's imagination, creating this safe person he can rely on, even if they have arguments or physical altercations. This is the blue that Chiron sees after having that discussion about Juan being his mother's drug dealer. This is in one of the dream sequences where Kevin is shrouded in blue. And also when Chiron is envisioning what Kevin looks like while he's calling him, you can see that even in the kitchen, he's shrouded in this blue light. It's almost overbearing how blue he is. So yeah, for red, this light, similar to the blue light, pops up after Chiron takes revenge on his bully. Here's the bully right here wearing red, his mother wearing red, this bully in his childhood wearing a red backpack, and Juan's drug dealer wearing red as well, which is actually very interesting. I'll get into that in a second. Chiron is commonly wearing red as a child, a symbol of the bullying and how much he's ostracized from other groups, showing his hate of being different. You can see the blue as his own identity in the middle, but just covered by this red. And since he is kind of blending in with these people are blue because they accept him more. Figures who have a false personality or a front are seen wearing red, such as Chiron, his bully, his mother, and clearly Juan Steeler. You need to have a tough kind of outlook to be in that profession. When Chiron's bully gets Kevin on board with the fight, red doors outline the situation, showcasing a danger and foreshadowing that fight when it happens. And we already talked about the red light blinking, signifying that hatred. For Pink, we have the vision that kind of haunts Chiron all throughout his childhood. This almost otherworldly light coming from his mother's room. And he even thinks about it when he's older, listening to his mother say that. And you can see a yellow kind of discomfort that he shows from this. It kind of painted how he sees his mother for the rest of his life. So the pink light coming from his mother's room into the unknown is a memory that haunts Chiron, characterizing his mother in that way forever. Uh, in Teresa and Juan's house, a little bit before Juan dies, we can see, oh, so sorry about that. My computer just refreshed. We can see a lot of this pink, these very light pink walls, somewhere that Chiron can feel safe, but there's still that influence of his mother. And that white that's being painted over is kind of showing how comfortable he is in that place and how he's kind of reclaiming this place as his own. And after being yelled at, Chiron's dance class the next day, completely covered in this pink color, still showing his mom's effect on him. And Chiron is first seen wearing white and sees a lot of hatred and aggression from his mother, which invokes the color red. Red mixed with white is pink. With yellow, we had the ending scene where Chiron discusses his affection towards Kevin finally. We can see he has a yellow chain on, yellow grills. All this is yellow. The background is yellow of this entire apartment. And so it kind of showcases. We'll get to it in a second. Before Chiron's mother reveals she needs money, she is dressed in blue due to her kindness. But it's a fake kindness, and the yellow houses foreshadow that danger. Chiron's outfit at school mixes together finding his identity with the blue, with the struggle of discomfort, as many struggle with their identity in high school. In Chiron's dream sequence, we usually see uh, blue being overshadowed with a yellow light, showing his desires but discomforts. And at the end of the movie, Chiron is in Kevin's all yellow house with a gold chain around his neck. This potentially shows how masculinity has changed Chiron to being uncomfortable in his own skin, as well as the grills he sports. Now, with black, this was really important. This nickname is really interesting in the future. So yeah, it's important to define what black is in the scale of color. Now, in physics, black is referred to as an absence of light from all eyes. And in art context, black is what an artist would get if they mixed all colors together. These two meanings are crucial to this analysis. Now, in Chiron's adult life, he's rarely seen wearing any color, choosing to wear black to give off a cool and tough persona. People in his profession shouldn't show emotion. The flashing lights between each section are absorbed by the deafening black quickly, and they aren't seen again, showcasing how Chiron is kind of internalizing every single experience he's had. When Chiron drives around, his car is black, showing the darkness he feels, and Kevin's nickname for Chiron is black. And it's meant to be endearing, focused on the fact that every color makes up what Chiron is, at least in my opinion. Chiron internalizes these colors and feels an absence of the color, wherein seeing Kevin brings back his uncertainty of identity, as we see in the yellow scene. Okay, now I'm going to talk about the critic analysis. Uh, Adam T. Sasso wrote Moonlight, a story told with color, and Austin Swamy wrote How Blue Are Black Boys in Moonlight. Now, Sasso has many good points in this article, but some I wanted to dispute are Juan is clothed mostly in white after he admits to selling Little's mother's drugs, and it indicates Juan is a saintly figure. The yellow represented in both Chiron's shirt and the dream represent his cowardice to not stick up for himself and be who he truly is. And Kevin's shirt looks like what a prisoner would wear, foreshadowing Chiron's future before he's arrested. It's very important to note that throughout Moonlight, that while yes, Juan has provided a safe environment for Chiron and became a father figure he never had, Juan was a drug dealer, profiting off the addictions that gripped many, even Chiron's mother. Just because he admitted it to a child, and because he does it out of necessity, does not bring cause for absolution. The reliance on the term cowardice gives a negative connotation towards Chiron trying to find his identity, especially when it comes to that. Chiron has no one to look up to for help in finding his identity. Not being able to stand up for himself isn't a cowardly trait. The teacher notices the bullying and does almost nothing to stop it before it's too late. And we see Kevin in his shirt directly after Chiron is ushered into a police car in handcuffs. I feel like that would have foreshadowed enough, but it feels like the shirt would have been more obvious if this was the point trying to be made. And Austin mainly discusses how the color pink fits in with the struggles that each character faces, a point I slightly made. But one thing stuck about me about his analysis was that Moonlight truly uses blue as its strongest weapon. It weaves through every scene and finally illustrates how blue Chiron's world really is. What that means is up to you. While it is debatable if blue is the most effective color in the film, he leaves the analysis up to the reader, and I think that's really important. Being told about what a color means and what a certain motif is supposed to mean falls on deaf ears. Films should really be about what someone gets from the movie, and if they don't see the accepted premise, then that is okay. Finally, while there are many ways to view color in films, it is easy to see how crucial color is to building the identity Chiron encapsulates, from his experiences in the society he lives in to the hate of others in his culture and the difficulty he finds figuring out this identity in the burgeoning world of the 1980s. Thank you so much, and here are my resources. I hope you enjoyed it.